All right, I do believe we are once again live. Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Shootin' It with Yankee. If you've never been here before, just a little conversation between myself and my viewers. Nothing formal, nothing professional about this. It's just a place where people can come and chitty chat with them between themselves and with me, even if they want to. So feel free to converse over in the live chat. That's what it's there for you all to talk to each other mostly. You will also be able to talk to me over there if you want. Just type at the Yankee Marshal before you put in a question or a comment for me. That way I'll know it's for me. It says how to do it right there under my picture. So just do that before you put in a question or a topic for me. That way I'll be able to see it. Another thing I do ask if you're going to make a question or a comment for me, do not repeat them. Put it in only once. Not twice, not three times, just once. Because it makes it really hard for me to find my place in the chat when I have to jump around if comments are repeated. So only put a question in once or a comment in once. You can ask as many questions as you want. I don't care as long as they're different. And you can make as many statements as you want. Don't care as long as they're not repeats. But please don't repeat questions or comments. Like I said, it screws me up. And I forget where I'm at, and then I get confused, and then I get distracted, and then I forget I'm doing a chat. So don't do that. That's bad. Bad. Now, I will try to answer every question and comment that comes in labeled to me, but I can't always do that. Sometimes we run out of time. Sometimes, like I say, I get confused or distracted, and it doesn't happen. Usually I can get all of them, but sometimes I can't. If I can't get to your question or your comments, and you definitely want something answered, or you definitely want a comment read, or you just want to donate to the Pets and Vets Fund, or you just want to get an entry into the friend drawing, you could do a super chat. Super chats get answered the same no matter how much they are, $2 or $20. I treat all super chats the same. They pop up on a list here. I try to answer them quickly. $2 ones don't pop up there, so if I miss a $2 one, people let me know, but I'll try to get them too. Uh, uh, the only real different thing you need to know when you're doing a super chat is if you want to get an entry into the friend drawing, then it's got to be $4.99 or more. Because for every $4.99 you donate, you get an entry. You donate $20, you get 4 entries. And that's for the friend drawing. And at the beginning of every month, we draw a friend. That person gets to be the friend of the channel for the full following month and gets all the rights and privileges of that friend, of being the friend. But also, not only do they get that great honor, they also get to spend a gift certificate worth about $800 retail wherever they want to spend it. You can pay off credit cards. You can buy shrimp alongside the road out of some guy's trunk. You can buy a gun from Grab a Gun or your local LGS. Don't care. It's basically a cash certificate worth up to $800 retail. So with that all being said, let's go on over to the chat, see if there's any questions or comments coming in. My fingers are all stained red. I'm here, but I'm all stained. No, it's not going to stick my fingers in my vagina. And it's that time of the month. No, it's I've been eating strawberries. We had like about a 1 week strawberry season here because it was hot and dry, and then it started, and so the strawberries started to ripen. So strawberry season started, and then it started downpouring rain for 4 days and ruined all the crops. So we had about a 1 week long, not even that, strawberry season this year. So I'm eating the last of the strawberries. So I was in there doing that and arguing with someone who was really hard to make a point to about my video I put up today, which got put up late, about an hour and a half late because my internet was giving me troubles. And it's a longer video than usual. It's nearly a half hour long, which was so funny to see people saying negative things 2 minutes after a half hour video has been posted. It's always funny to see that. But someone not understanding what I was saying, who kept saying, well, you're absolutely wrong because they did ban pistol braces because you can't put this pistol brace on this gun. And I'm like, well, yeah, you can't do that because that would make that gun. And I could 2 years. No, you couldn't. If you put that pistol brace on that gun 2 years ago, you know, it was approved. There's an ATF level. I'm like, no, there isn't. Show me an ATF letter for that pistol brace on that gun with that part you're using. I read it right here. It is. And he sends me a link, and I'm like, that's for the manufacturer of the pistol brace itself. That's not saying that pistol brace is legal on that gun. Well, that would be legal and that gun if I'm like, dude, you don't seem to understand what you're talking about at all. But, that's what you go through when you post a video that actually requires people to think. I got a super chat coming in here. We'll start off with that from Southwest Virginia Marksman. I got a promotion at work. Now I can catch these live chats again. Yay, because I haven't seen you in a while. So now are you the pimp's top girl now? Or are you no longer working the sub rate corners? You're working the getting the late shift at the best corner instead of getting the 2 to 4 shift on the nasty corner. I'm talking afternoon. No one wants to be an afternoon hooker. It's just, no one wants to be the daylight hooker. That's just. Let me go up over here to the chat, see if there's any comments or questions coming in. Pan down. Texas Governor Abbott says he's building a wall to keep out illegal aliens. I don't think he has the authority to do that. No, one, he doesn't have the authority to do it. Two, he's not going to do it. It's just blah, 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 because he's afraid of not getting reelected now. But we don't need a wall. We need to stop giving illegals a reason to come here. When they do come here, let's make it to where they can't get a job. Let's make it to where they can't get unemployment. Let's make it to where they can't get child support. Let's make it to where they can't put their kids in school and they can't get driver's licenses. Therefore, they can't function in society. If they don't have a valid work visa, well, then they can't get an apartment. They can't stay at a hotel. They can't do anything. Then we don't have to build anything. Let's start holding companies who hire these people illegally. Let's start holding them responsible. Then we won't have to build anything. What are your opinions on Jesse Ventura? Loved him as a wrestler. Loved him even more as a commentator. Liked him as an actor. Was okay with him as a politician. And take him with a grain of salt as a conspiracy theorist. So I hope that covered most of his stages of development. My Smith & Wesson 500 comes in tomorrow. Ye can't wait. Setting it up with a hollow sun for elk hunting. Poor little elks. Although elks is delicious. I can't eat elk because that's a mammal, and I don't eat mammals anymore. But I will miss elk jerky, and I miss venison. I hate that I can't make venison stew this year because, let's see where I'm at. Where could I find a good tactical belt that's 1 3/4 inches wide? The company I use makes one that's 1 3/4 inches wide. I forget what they call it, but it's very clearly denoted on their site that it's the 1 3/4 inch belt, and that is Core Trackline from Core. They make a wider belt. In fact, I got one sitting right here. This is their 1 3/4 inch model right here. Ta-da. As you can see, the Trackline belts are stiff as fuck. So they're good belts. I think the gun community licks the boots of the police because some of them are cops themselves and others are afraid their rights will be taken away if they don't. I don't think they do it because they're afraid their rights will be taken away if they don't. I think they're just ignorant. All right. Got kicked out of my chat because my internet went out on me. It's been, like I say, it's been a pain in the ass today. Let's see here. Let me get back to the questions over here. Hi, Yank. For you, what is the most comfortable two guns to carry, and which two guns are most comfortable to shoot? Well, there's no such thing as that. Like Chiappa are very comfortable to shoot and carry. The Beretta 92 is very comfortable to carry and shoot. I mean, it's all going to depend on you. Those are all subjective questions, not objective questions. So I can't answer subjective questions for you. I know people think that I can, but I can't. I mean, I can answer it. It's just it won't be true. So, you know, I don't care. I'll answer it, but it won't be true. Our blackberry season was the same way this year in southeast Texas. Yeah, the blackberries here haven't even ripened yet, but I can see where that happened there on those too. Can you prove the existence of Delaware? Never seen a license plate from there or met anyone from there. I think I've been there, but at least that's just what people told me. I don't know if that's true or not. Anybody can put up a sign, I guess. I don't remember seeing any real people. I think I've only driven through there, so I don't know if I ever. For all I know, the buildings and stuff could just be like cutouts with fakes, like movie props or something. I don't know. I can't prove anything about Delaware. Danny donated $20 and said half for the pets, half for the vets. Well, that's good because that's about how the ratio goes. I wouldn't say it's half and half. I think if I look at like what are standard every month donations that go out, automatic draft, like monthly recurring donations, if I look at them, they're probably 60% pet related and 40% vet related. So it's probably 60% pet, 40% vet. That's probably what you're doing. Because unless I signal yours out, and I'm not doing that kind of math. So everybody knows if you donate money, like if you donate $10, $6 of it's going to probably go to pet charities, and 40 cents will go to vet charities until we get over the breaking even point. When we get to a break even point each month, like I say, we bring in more than $2,200, I think it is, in super chats. That we gross more than $2,200 in super chats. Well, anything over that, we can spend it wherever we want. And if we decide to spend it all on vet charities, well, then that month it might be 50-50. But if we spend it all on a pet charity, well, then that month it might be 70-30. That's the kind of math I don't want to do. So, got a super chat coming in also from Michael Baker. Emailed you a picture of our rescue dog. I figured I would donate and see what you thought at the same time. I do believe I saw that. Yes, that dog looks like he might be defective. But I have a pity mix and he's defective. He does that too. He lays around upside down with his lips flapped up in his face. And Peter D sent a picture here of his new tit sauce. Oops, I didn't want to do that. Here, I'll try to show it. Can I show it? Share. Share screen. Share window. There it is. There we go. Is it showing? There we go. He got him a tit sauce. He got a tit mouse, as he calls it. One of their 1911s. Let me know how that works out, because I hear conflicting things about their 1911s. Did I answer everything? Yes, I did. I can go back over here. Oops. I lost my place. A lot of YouTubers posting video that ATF is trying to reclassify what the firearm is, like the guest at a gun guy channel said the upper receiver would be a firearm and slides. They have proposed that type of thing, but they can't just do that. They know they have to have other steps taken. They would love to do that, and they're part of their battle against ghost guns and all this other crap. But it doesn't really make sense, because what it is they want to define what a receiver is. redefine what a receiver is. And if you went with some of the definitions, it would count things like uppers and everything. But none of that is anything actual right now. That's all just let's throw stuff out on the water and see what we can get people irritated with. Maybe somebody will do something stupid, which will justify us to do more stuff. Should I trade my Beretta 92FS for the 92X? I would. If it was me, I would. This is from Sam Johnson. He says, first of all, you're wrong in your most recent video. You don't talk about how the rule change will give every pistol with a pistol brace points. That's always been the case. Period. That's always the thing they've used. Every one of them will need to be reviewed. No, they don't. Not every one of them needs to be reviewed. As long as you aren't breaking the law when you put together a pistol, no, it does not need to be reviewed. That is a fallacy. Only if you're going to manufacture them for production does it need to be reviewed. The ATF will need to make sure the firearm scores less than 4 points. Yes, that's the way they've done it in the past, too. They've used criteria that if it does this, well, then it's going to... Before it was just a strike, basically. And what they said is, the way they worded it in their first word papers were, once you get over 3 strikes, one more and you're out. And that's basically the same thing they got now. Did you know that having a red dot on a pistol with an AR pistol brace will make it an SBR? No, it won't. Having a red dot on there will not. If it's a red dot that's meant to be used while the gun's extended. If it's a red dot that's meant to be used with a gun with your eye at a certain distance from the red dot, then yes, it will. But just any old red dot on a pistol with a brace does not make it an SBR. Because if you design a red dot that you can hold the gun in a position where you'd fire it one-handed and still see the reticle, which is really easy to do, wouldn't be illegal. And also, if you put a riser on it to where the red dot was 8 inches in the air, 6 inches in the air, wouldn't be illegal. It's all about altering the point of aim. That's the point you're talking about. And if you create a gun that is made that if you fire it from the pistol from a one-handed position, that the point of aim is altered and you can't shoot accurately from that position. Those are the things people are trying to use to say, if you have an optic on there, it has to have an eye relief optic. That will make it illegal. So you are absolutely wrong once again. Did you read how they are inserting a sentence that any firearm with rifling and a brace will now be an SBR? No, they didn't say any rifle with a rifling and a brace will be an SBR. They did not say that at all. Period. That is not in there. So deal with what's in there, and that is not in there. There is nothing in that ruling that says any gun that has a rifled barrel and a brace is an SBR. Doesn't exist. That's fantasy. You're dealing with fantasy. Did you see how they put in there that if the firearm scores less than 4 points, they can still ban it if they think they should? That's been the case all along. Like if it's still, and I even made that point in my video, it can be the right links, it can have the right length of pull, it can have all these different things. But if it is a gun that they say, this has to deal with pre-manufactured guns. This is not guns. This is not saying like you can't sell this brace or this pistol whatsoever. They're just saying if you decide to manufacture a gun with these parts, if you manufacture a gun, let's say it's a 50 BMG and you put a pistol brace on it. Well, you're not going to be shooting a 50 BMG one-handed in a short barrel gun. So therefore, that is not a pistol that's meant to be braced. It is something you're putting a stock on there or a brace on there so that you can stabilize it against your shoulder. So therefore, it would be not allowed. Also, if it weighed 50 pounds and was belt fed, wouldn't matter if all the measurements were right. It would still be non-approved because that gun is not designed to be shot one-handed. So basically in this little letter you sent me right here, you've shown me that you're believing everything that isn't in there, misinterpreting a lot of stuff that isn't in there, and running with bullshit that people have just told you that you haven't even bothered to look and see if it is in there. Because that whole thing about rifling no, that's not in there. If it legally classifies as a pistol and the brace legally classifies as a brace, they're okay together. If something about the pistol doesn't legally classify it as a pistol with the brace inserted. If the brace is put on there in a way to make it to where it's possible to shoot the gun that is tried to be designed as a pistol, and it's not really practical to shoot it without a brace that you can put to your shoulder, that's a factor they consider. And they've considered that since the braces became an issue. At first they said, well, if you put it to your shoulder, then that's no longer a pistol. And they said, well, since it's not being designed with the intent to put it to your shoulder, it's not a pistol. But then they have these criteria that they've created over the years, and it's what they were using 2 years ago. Same system. I've spoken to ATF guys, and this is the same system we've been using. And that's why you were supposed to call. They were told, they sent out memos and all interagency memos to say, hey, when you're doing classifications for these types of things, these are the criteria you're supposed to follow. If you have any questions, contact blah, blah, blah. And it's been that way for a while. So no big changes. And like I say, your letter your email is literally filled with fallacies. So learn. Defective dog. Yeah, there he is. I see that face. Today's video was a very long version of shut up, stop bringing negative attention to sell a product. Exactly. Just shut the fuck up. Like if you've got a gun, you've put a pistol brace on, and it probably might not meet qualifications or classifications for being compliant. Don't make a big fucking deal out of it. Just shut your mouth. No one's going to say anything to you. The government's not going to come knocking on your door looking for it. They don't enforce those stupid laws because they know they wouldn't hold up in court if they did. So they don't want them to be scrutinized as an individual law. They only use those when they need to add multiple things onto something you did that was actually illegal, so that they can intimidate you with all these add-ons that can add time to your sentence and therefore get you to plea deal. They're not going to. When was the last time, like I said the other day, when was the last time you ever saw anyone actually charged with putting an extended tube on a shotgun that didn't have enough American parts to put that extended tube on there? And people do that all the fucking time. And you don't see anybody charged with it because you aren't going to see anybody charged with that. However, if you take that shotgun out and commit a crime with it, they'll add that charge of modifying it illegally onto the charge to have you facing a bigger sentence, so you'll take a less than favorable plea deal. So it's just the way it is. You didn't read the part about page 33 and page 37. Please read that. I didn't see anything in your thing about page 33 and 37. Did you see page 33 and 37 of the rule? Same gun, and one is legal and one is illegal. Yeah, I explained to you exactly in my video how that can be. So pay attention. I didn't memorize the fucking page numbers, but pay attention, because it tells you right there why one's illegal and one isn't. I showed 2 guns today, both the exact same overall length. One is an SBR, one was a pistol with a brace on it. And I told you why, even though they're different distances, one would be legal with the pistol brace, how one would be legal or illegal with the pistol brace. Like if I put a pistol brace on the Scorpion that made it 16.5 inches overall, like the other pistol with a brace on it is, it would still be an SBR because the pistol brace reach of pull would be 14.75 inches. And that wouldn't be designed to be shot from the arm. So even though the guns are very similar, and are the same overall length, use a lot of the same, it depends on the gun. And that's the way it's always been. See, your whole thing about, well, there's changes and it's different now, has to coincide with it having not been that way a few years ago. It was that way a few years ago. Same thing. Only reason a lot of people thought it wasn't is because a lot of manufacturers got a brace approved, but then just started selling it in all kinds of different configurations, and manufacturers started using them in configurations on pre-manufactured guns in ways that wasn't compliant, and they didn't bother to get compliant letters because they said, well, the brace is legal and this is legal as a pistol, so together they are obviously legal. That's not the case. Not the way it is. Let me see here. Where are we? I didn't miss anything over here, did I? Let me make sure. I'd like an opportunity to come out as a left-handed shooter. I've infiltrated your live chats undetected. I'm sorry. I feel so ashamed. You should. You're one of nature's little mistakes, but I think it speaks volumes on us as a group that we accept you here, and that we haven't immediately, called for you to be stoned or ostracized from the community, despite your horrible deformity. Where am I? I'm trying to find my spot. I'm trying to answer text messages and get my spot at the same time. Excuse me. Oof. Did you hear that Alyssa Milano, I always call the Murano the Alyssa Milano, when like the Nissan Alyssa Milano. Wants to run for U.S. Representative California. She'd be perfect because she's dumb as a fucking rock. Thank you for the no BS guidance you provide. I don't apply for Alaska PFD because I feel like a handout. Do you think I'm wrong? Oh, what's the PFD? I don't know what that is. Working the primer corners now. The prime corners now. Only major intersection. That'll be more. That'll be better work for you. I will say that. Let's see here. I'm trying to figure out where I'm at. I've lost my place. That's not where I want to be. There. Who's your favorite heel if you had one? Well, see, that's the thing. Most all heels either went face at some time, or most faces went heel at some time. So it's really hard for me to say which is my absolute favorite. I will say that I think some of the best heels ever, Roddy Piper, Jake the Snake Roberts. Who else do I like as a heel? Vin Diesel, not Vin Diesel, good God. Diesel and Razor Ramon, they were good heels, but they were almost too good of heels because then people liked them. Stone Cold, good heel when he was a heel, like when he first started going up against Bret Hart and stuff before he turned face. There's all kinds, but I'd say probably if I had to name my favorite, oh God, there's been so many good heels. Ric Flair, awesome heel. Tully Blanchard, awesome heel. Arn Anderson, all those guys. But I'm going to say, for the one that I always think of as usually being a heel, I'm going to say Jake the Snake. I'm just going to go with Jake Snake Roberts. And if anybody don't agree with that, well, they can suck it. Let's see, where am I at? There was a recent attack on an Asian male New York City cop. This is a week after a female Asian cop was attacked in San Francisco. Even Asian cops aren't safe. What? Because two got attacked on different ends of the country in the course of a month? I don't think that really constitutes a crisis, to be honest. Just like I don't really buy that there's a huge increase in violence against Asians. Just so happens they weren't reporting them as hate crimes before. Because now every time a little Asian lady in the Bronx or whatever gets mugged, now it's a hate crime. Whereas 5 years ago it wasn't a hate crime, wouldn't have been reported as a hate crime or ever showed up with anything to do with race. So it's all about reporting. And also, they always like to brush over the fact that most of the crime going on against Asians right now is by black males. So if they want to make it a point of race, we need to deal with why is it black males are attacking Asians. But they don't want to do that. Your PTR is automatically an illegal SBR because it's over 26s. It also fails the point system. Wrong. absolutely wrong. No, because if the overall length of the gun with the brace can be more than 26 inches, you're just putting more barrel on it. The 26 inches is if it's under 26 inches under, it has a collapsible stock. It's easily concealed. That's the whole reason for that number. So no, it is not illegal. The PTR is totally 100% legal. The length of pull is short enough that it is not considered. It would not get the 4 points or 3 points for that, and it doesn't have any type of sight that requires, you know, eye relief. You don't have to even use the sights. You can do whatever you want to do, I guess. It's legal. It's 100% legal. It doesn't have a collapsible piece that increases the length of the stock to where it can be a shouldered stock. It doesn't have a pad on the back of the stock. It doesn't have 5 inches of contact with your body at the end of it. It is legal. The PTRs are still legal. If you notice, none of them have been banned for sale. If the ATF came out and said they're illegal, they'd be banned for sale. You couldn't be selling illegal products. So you might ask yourself that, why are all these things still for sale if they're really? Because they're not fucking illegal. And a lot of people are lying to you, and you're dumb enough to believe it. Well, I wouldn't say dumb enough to believe it, but gullible enough to believe it. Where am I? The gun fairy visited me today. Cool. I got a tit sauce 1911. I already showed the picture. Sent you a picture. Wife is not exactly happy. She'll be okay though. Yeah, she'll live. I mean, unless she got like cancer. I don't know about that. But if it's just regarding the fact she bought a gun, I think she'll be all right. Oh, it does not. If the gun is, oh, you're so fucking dumb. Oh God, I don't even want to read these things from people. Well, page 39, it clearly states a weapon must be between 12 and 26 inches overall. If it's over 26 inches, it's an illegal SBR. No, it doesn't say that. Link right now to that part where it says that. Oh my God. Get tired of dealing with stupid people. Let's see here. Get back to where we were at on the page here. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Though it's pausing here, but I got things I'm trying to look up. What brace is on your PTR? I don't know what the fucking name of that brace is. I don't even know the name of any of the goddamn braces. SB is what it says on it. Or is that PB? No. SB, I guess it says on it. But it's the one the company puts on it. It comes sold with that. You don't buy. I didn't buy it and put it on there. These people need to read. Contact ATF directly instead of bickering with you in the chat. Yes, call the ATF. Ask them what's changed. They'll tell you. No, I just get tired of dumb people in the fucking gun community. That when we waste half of our energy dealing with ignorance in our own community instead of being able to just deal with actual issues. Because ignorant people want to distract from actual issues because they aren't smart enough to realize that the people trying to get them to do that are doing it for profit. You got your wish, Yankee. You probably lost some subs. Oh, I'm sure I lost some subs today on that video, but I don't care. That's not the whole point. That's not the point of this. Subs is not the point today. The subs is never the point, really. The message is way more valuable than my sub count as far as I'm concerned, or else I'd go around selling you all products and giving you discount codes and going, boo, you better go buy this all the time so that I get money from manufacturers. I got no interest in doing any of that. No interest in it. Where are we? Trying to find where I'm at. There we go. Hey Yankee, I know how you feel about trophy hunting, but what if the trophy were a convicted elephant poacher or convicted animal abuser? That's different. I don't mind. Wear their ears on a necklace for all I care. They deserved what they got. The animals don't deserve what they get. I'm a firm believer that you should be able to, like, wear a necklace with the ears of every poacher you killed if you went over to, if you're in Africa or something. Or here. You do that too. I don't care. Let's see. I think I got all the super chats over here. Let's go over here. And please, I still want someone to send me a link. Someone, anyone, right now, a link to the page where they say it says that, where if it's over 26 inches, it's an illegal SBR, because that is not even close to true. You can make a pistol with a 30-inch barrel on it if you want to. Hell, look at fucking bunt lines. What's the overall length on a goddamn bunt line? What length barrel do they put on those fucking things? I've seen them in with incredibly stupid links on them sometimes. What's the longest bunt line? 12-inch barrel on that pistol. It doesn't make it a rifle if the barrel gets to be a certain length. It's still just a pistol. Revealing Hawk 36. Is the Corbon 90 grain 380 ACP jacketed hollow point a good ammo for self-defense? I don't know how they load their 380s. If it's jacketed hollow point, probably not the best. I don't know Corbon though that do any real range loadings though, so probably they're pretty good. But I would prefer to have something a little more oomphy. And I don't even know if Corbon's still a company. I can't guarantee that they're still a company. Wild Bill also donated, just like Revealing Hawk, we just answered his question, and just said, for the pets and the vets. For the pets and the vets. What's it? Oh, there's one with a 16-inch barrel. Oh, 18-inch barrel. The revolver has an 18-inch barrel. Oof. Can you imagine? 18-inch barrel on your revolver. Dum, dum, dum. When you've reached 350,000 subs, that's the equivalent of 1 in 1,000 Americans. Yeah, it's a very small number. But still, even when people have millions of subs, it's mostly children. I mean, there's some adults, but even I got a big number of underage 18ers, but not as big a percentage as a lot of gun channels, but some. Are you on the proper internet? Did you knock your son off? Yes, I unplugged him, and I was on the proper internet. I'm not now. I'm going to go back to it. So hold on here. Let me switch back. Oh, wrong button. Okay, there, I think I'm back. Now I'm on the right internet. Remember, it went dead on me and I had to switch over, and I never bothered to switch back. Hopefully, everything's been readable. Readable. Or not readable. Listenable. Hearable. Not breaking up. I don't know what the fucking word I'm looking for is. You know what I'm talking about. Let's see. Jesse Ventura was the name of my Nirvana cover band. We broke up after 2 months due to artistic difference. I thought he said arthritic differences there for a minute, but artistic differences. Like, what would be arthritic differences? Thanks for the trackline belt if info. Yeah, they're nice. I like my trackline belt. I just love how easy they are to get on and off. You know, you just flip the little, tick the little button at the bottom, and then when you put it on, you can adjust it by little click by little click. Mr. Fuji was a good heel as well. He was. I usually don't think of Fuji as like a wrestler. I think of him more as a manager, you know, because, you know, later in his career kind of stuff. I don't know why I did that. I'm getting ready to sing Nightman. The fighter of the Nightman. I'm sorry, what were you saying about my licking the boots comment before the chat froze? I don't know. Do you have any opinions on hipsters or CZ hipsters? What's a CZ hipster? I don't like hipsters. No cicadas in Alaska. That's probably true. People who live in border states have to accept that foreigners will enter their states, both legally and illegally. State government cannot build border walls. Well, I mean, I don't know if you have to accept it, but I mean, I don't think there should be any problem with people just wandering back and forth like for the day. Like if someone comes across, you know, a lot of the border towns are upset about shit like this because they used to have thriving economies before they started making it where people can't just walk over and buy something and walk back. It really hurt their economies. And a lot of people don't like it that they can't just go over to Mexico and take a vacation and, you know, a couple days or whatever they want to do and then just come right back. So it's caused a lot of problems actually for border cities and border towns. And if you go down to border cities and border towns, they're almost never calling for a wall. It's always the state capitals and the people in Washington, etc. So, let's see here. Where am I at? Fuck, as I found where I was, it jumped to the bottom again. Best wrestling villain was Dick the Bruiser. Yeah, you're going way back before that. You're going back before my time. I heard that Jake the Snake was scared of snakes when he started. Oh yeah, he said he was always scared of snakes and always has been. My favorite heel is Rick Rude. He was good. What do you think about the Iron Sheik? Yeah, he was a good heel. Volkov. Oh, the Iron Sheik always sounded a little bit comical, but Ivan Koloff was a good heel. Have you watched any of Season 3 Dark Side of the Ring? I think I've watched all of them. I'm pretty sure that there is an assumption in the rule that if you manufactured a pistol with an RDS, then it would be a pistol if it had a magnifier as far as sights are concerned. What? It's all about whether is the gun meant to be fired like this, which you can look down. You can look down a red dot sight with holding the gun out like this. That's totally legal. If you've got a red dot sight, like say this Hollow Sun, you know, and it's meant to where you can, with the pistol brace attached to your arm, it doesn't alter your point of aim, and you can fire and shoot and blah blah blah. If it's a type of red dot that has an eye relief to where you're taking your eye up to it like this, well then that's obviously not meant to be fired as pistol. That's meant to be fired like with an eye relief. So that's one of the factors they take into account. Now, is that something I think should be taken into account? No, you got to remember, I don't think any of these rules should exist. I don't think there should be an ATF. But also, when we're dealing with what they are doing and what they're saying, let's be honest about what they're doing and saying, so we don't come off like idiots. Jesse the Body Ventura was a good heel. Yeah, of course he was. A1 sauce or barbecue sauce for meatloaf. I don't do either. What I do with my meatloaf, I like to mix a tiny little bit of brown sugar with ketchup, and then caramelize that on the top. I mean, like the last 10 minutes it's in the oven, you put it on broil and caramelize the ketchup on the top, and it's just so good. Let me go over here real quick. I want to reboot, or not reboot, but just refresh my emails in case anyone has decided to send me links to the pages they want to talk about. They have not. What happens if the current proposed rule regarding receivers is adopted as written? Well, I think first thing it would face is a lot of legal challenges, and it would probably get stayed because it would be something they don't have the authority to make changes on, and it'd probably be overturned in the courts. And if that happens, well, then we'll figure out who's doing the fighting. We'll help fund them. I'll help fund them. But until that fight actually happens, I'm not going to send a bunch of money to just sit in some national gun organization's coffers so that they can roll in it naked or something. Heinz or Hunt's? Always Heinz. Hunt's ketchup is not ketchup. I call that catsup. Heinz is by far the best ketchup. It's the only ketchup I'll use, actually. Like if we go to a fast food restaurant, like used to be if I'd go to a fast food restaurant, I'd judge them by their ketchup. If it was like a McDonald's and they had the generic McDonald's brand ketchup, I'm like, cheap fucking McDonald's. If they had Heinz ketchup, I'm like, well, they spend a little extra there. Doing the right thing. Let's see here. I gotta pan up. Hold on. Oh, I'm on the wrong page to pan up. There we go. I think it might be a useless video, but you should make a video about the brace topic since some prudent people don't understand words. I did a video today on the brace topic. That's kind of what we were talking about. On page 33, paragraph 3, subsection 1C of my email, I provided the name of a cross-dressing ATF agent who hates pistol braces. Oh, that's... you're being anti-trans right now. They have every right to hate pistol braces. So, there you go. Someone just sent me a picture of the ATF worksheet. Yeah, this is basically the stuff that they told me they already had when I have spoken to them. The only things that really will get it length of pull, 13.5 inches or over. Yeah, it can't be over. It's about 13.5 inches, which is about what it is with my gun. I think they measure from the pivot of the trigger or something to the back of the brace. And I pointed out, like, if you go an inch over, 13.5 is good. If it's over 13.5, boom, immediately disqualified. That's why I said length of pull is one of the major things you need to keep in check. Whereas if it's, 12.5 inches, it's fine. That's 2 points, but it's still fine. And as long as you don't violate any other things, you'll be okay. Because you can get 3 points. You gotta get 4 points to be done. Adjustable or telescoping. Exactly. If you have adjustable stock, telescoping stock, even if it's pistol, call it a brace. If it's adjustable or telescoping, that's points. I think, what is that? 2 points? Yeah. The things that will disqualify it just by itself. No cuff on the strap. Brace, like I said. I said that actually in my comments in my video today. Brace accessory, the brace itself been modified to put on your shoulder, like put a shoulder butt on it or make it to where it doesn't have the straps anymore, except like I said in my video today. So don't modify them. The only other thing that'll get it, a second grip on there, which is another thing I mentioned today. If you put a second grip on it, well, then you've already made your pistol illegal. So you can't have that on there. So that, I don't even know why that's a part of this, because you can't put the forward grip on a pistol, period. So if the whole point of this is that it's a pistol with a brace on it, well, then it can't be a pistol with a brace on it if it's got a forward grip on it. So that I don't even understand why that's a criteria, because that's just a totally different other violation of a law. Uh, uh, Presence of bipod, monopods. That's one of the things. Like, it's not meant to be shot one-handed if it's on a tripod or a bipod. Weapon is configured weighing more than 120 ounces. Weight with magazine unloaded. And that's that whole thing. Like, I was like, remember, if you listen to me, I'm like, I have no fucking clue why weight matters. But the way they said, the reason why it's called weight matters, like, because if your people are trying to make these giant, like, belt-fed, heavy fire, 50 BMG, blah, blah, blah bullshit, and they're like, it's clearly not meant to be fired one-handed. You'd have to be the Incredible Hulk to fire it one-handed. So you're clearly going to put it to your shoulder, so therefore it's not something meant to be fired one-handed. And I'm like, I can understand it. Don't agree with it, but I can understand it. And there's other things you can get like 1.2 points for. Like if you've got a brace and it's got a strap on it, but it's too short. It doesn't even actually go around your arm. It's just enough to cover the brace. That'll be a couple points. So, and you can't get 4 points or you're done. And that's why that's basically the system they've been using, except they didn't call it points before. But nothing new. I should have showed this while I was looking at it, shouldn't have I? But those are the things you'll get like it totally disqualified for, and that's the things I talked about today. Length of pull being too long can get you just completely thrown away. And modifying the brace to where it's no longer a brace, basically turning it into putting pads on the end, making it too big, making it too long, taking the straps off, things like that you shouldn't do. Putting a secondary grip on it, which, like I say, shouldn't even be a thing, because and weighing more than 120 ounces. So, and if you don't do any of those things, you don't violate any of those things, don't worry about what you do at home. Don't worry about it. You don't have to get approval. I don't have to get approval to put a pistol brace on any pistol I own. Doesn't mean I'll be in compliance, but I don't have to get approval. And it also doesn't mean anyone's going to come looking for me. And it also doesn't mean if even if I did say, hey, my pistol's not in compliance, or they caught me at the range and said your pistol's not in compliance, I'd be like, oh, I'll take that off there. And that'd probably be the end of it. Like I said, because they don't want to prosecute these things as individual crimes. I think I missed a super chat over here. Hold on. Oh, by the way, to some people who might be interested in this, we got our power bill for the first time, because we're going to get our power bill every 2 months since we got the Tesla, and our power bill didn't seem to really change much. It was actually less than last month, the last billing cycle, but we ran the heat some during the last billing cycle, and we didn't run it as much this time, so I don't see a huge jump. And I compared it to the one from the same time last year. And I can't guarantee the weather was the same and everything, but compared to the same one from last got kicked off again. Internet went out again. The internet today's been really bad and really slow, so I don't know what's going on. Ba, 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 ba. Turn up the heat. Turn the heat up, thaw. I don't know what that means. I don't like the heat on too high. I run the air more than the heat because I like my bedroom to be about 60 degrees. To me, 60 degrees is good sleeping weather. And as far as the rest of the house, I keep it at 68 usually. It's just a good temperature, I think, year round, 68. Air conditioning and I just would have sworn something touched my toe, but there's nothing down there. You ever get that feeling like something just crawled across your toe or something, but there's nothing there? That happens a lot to me, like something brushes against, like I brush something against the hair on my toe or something. Let's see here. Where am I at? Where did I go? I think I've got everything answered over here. Yes, I do. So I can go back over here. We don't got much time now, like 5 minutes. If someone is a left-handed redhead and shoots 9mm out of revolvers, what if someone is a left-handed redhead that shoots 9mm out of revolvers? I like to think that karma will take care of them. What lawmaking and judicial powers does the ATF have? Are these laws or simple regulations that they attempt to enforce? Well, they have the power to interpret laws, and they have the power to enforce laws, and they have the permission to interpret laws from the Congress, because it's supposed to be completely the purview of Congress, but they have ceded that authority to the ATF for quite a while now, and they need to take it back, but they give them way too much free reign as far as interpreting things. What would a used Chiappa 40DS 357 be worth? I don't know. I don't know what condition it's in. And it'd be probably about 85% of retail value under a normal circumstance if it's in like new condition. Nowadays, though, it might be worth full retail because you can't find new ones. I'm trying to find where I'm at here and answer some text messages at the same time. Where am I at? I've got everything answered over there. I got to go over here. Have you watched any of season 3? I read that, didn't I? I think I watched all of it, to be honest. Bum, 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 bum. My favorite heels recruit. I think I read that. What about that chic? I think I read that. I think I read all this stuff. Pop up ad. Your subs are like Hydra. When one of them dies, 2 more take their place. Oh God, no. I have lost way more subs than I've ever gained. Let me go to my analytics real quick. I won't show you the page because we get in trouble for some reason if we do that. But I will show lifetime here on subs. Lifetime. I currently have, around 350,000 subs. Throughout the course of my channel, I have earned 1.1 million subs. So that tells you that 2 out of every 3 subs that have ever signed up for my channel have thought better of it afterwards, or left. So I actually lose 2 for every 1 I keep. But that's fine. Instead of growing by 3, I grow by 1, and I'm all right with that. And that's just me doing the quick math there. It's probably a little different numbers than that, but, like as far as the 2 out of every 3. But I'm not going to say out of every 2.4 people or something like that. Is the comment period the way ATF is doing big waste of time? Didn't the DOJ already sign off on it? I'm not sure. It's so much easier in the UK. Barrel 12 inches, overall length 24 inches. It ain't a pistol, and no such thing as an SBR. Can't be semi-auto unless it's 22, though. I wouldn't want to have the simple system. Turnips out back barking. But the more subs you have, it's easier it is to get your voice heard and recruit more people in the gun community. It's more than just a matter of being popular and making money. That's not true, though, because to get big, you have to do things that are not going to get the proper message out there. You have to toe the line when it comes to certain things. You have to, not make any big waves when it comes to certain things. You can't call people out on things. You can't correct the record on a lot of things. You got to cater to a certain group of people, a very bigoted and biased group of people. And if you do that, you're not doing any good for anyone. So, fuck that. Still trying to figure out what the fuck they mean by based off a stock design visually resembles an existing stock, or its construction is to extend identical to a stock. What they're saying is if it's built like a stock, it's got like the pad on the end, it looks visually like what your other stocks would look. If you look at a brace, it's clearly not a stock. It doesn't look like a stock, really. I mean, it's generally the same shape. It attaches the same place, but it doesn't have the pad at the back. It's not as thick at the back. It doesn't telescope. It's not telescopic. If it is those things, then it's not a stock. It's not a brace. It's a stock. That's basically what they mean. If it doesn't have the strap, it just looks like a pistol brace. I mean, it just looks like a stock, like this one. If it just looks like this, if this was supposedly be a brace, but it telescopes, and it's not really a pistol brace because it doesn't have straps. It doesn't look like it's made to go around your arm. It looks like a pistol stock. I mean, it looks like a stock, not a brace. So it's probably not a brace. But people keep saying things, well, they're being vague so they can entrap you. That would be a viable, a viable idea if they were charging people with these things. They're not. When was the last time you saw anybody charged with this? I mean, there are laws on the books right now that say, like it's illegal to wash your donkey on the courthouse steps on Sunday. But since they're not enforcing that law, why do people worry about it? It's not there just so we can get people. They'll use that to get people who wash their donkeys on Sunday. Like in West Virginia, it's illegal to wash a donkey in a bathtub on your front lawn. And I don't know why. But it's not there as a way to trap people who wash donkeys. It's just some stupid law that no one enforces. Do you eat peanut butter and jelly sandwiches? Very rarely. I mean, I like peanut butter and jelly. But it's not like something I eat all the time. That is a lot of sugar. This is what I found. Not sure what it means, but not my fight. Conversely, firearms exceeding 26 in overall length are impractical and inaccurate to fire. Right, meaning if the firearm, not counting the brace, is over 26 inches long, then it's not a pistol. And I don't understand why that even matters, because if it's over 26 inches long, then it's not a pistol. You couldn't even make it fall into the pistol category. Which I'm not sure why they would want to make it fall into the pistol category, to be honest. It's one of those things like you can't do this thing you'd never want to do anyway. So I don't understand that. It's just kind of like when you're counting the overall length when you're putting a foregrip on. A lot of people think, well, since it's with the pistol brace on it, it's over 26 inches. It's 27, so I can put a foregrip on it. No, because it just means the gun. The pistol brace is not an integral part of the gun. It's an accessory, so it doesn't count in the overall length. So if say that PTR, if I took the brace off of it and it was still over 26 inches, well, that wouldn't be legal because it's not a pistol now. It's now a rifle with no stock on it. I don't know why that matters, to be honest. I don't understand the whole point in that. Because who's going to make the actual gun 26 inches long? I mean, why would you want to do that? Why would you want a pistol with, say, like, how long would the barrel need to be on that thing to be 26 inches long? For this gun to be 26 inches long overall, the barrel would have to be approximately 17 inches long. Who's going to put a 17-inch long barrel on a pistol? Well, except for like a bunt line, that 18-inch barrel. At that point, why wouldn't you just make a rifle with a stock on it, a collapsible stock? Because, like, if I measure like one of my, that's just a rifle with a collapsible stock. Where am I at? See, like right here, even my, what the fuck is this? Is this my Colt? Yeah. Even my Colt here, the overall, this is a rifle. And the overall part of the gun that's not, the barrel on it, let's just say the barrel on it, is about 17 inches. That's about, so if you're going to put a 17-inch, it's longer than that actually, but with the flash hider and everything, it's closer to 17 and a half inches. But if you're going to put a barrel that length on there, you can put a stock on it. You can have a buffer tube and put an actual stock on it. So I don't understand why that's really a part of it. But because who would want, like say you got an AR body, you put a 17-inch barrel on it, 17 and a half inch barrel. It's now the body of the gun is, will that make the body of the gun 26 inches? Almost. Let's just say the body of the gun is, well, see, the body of the gun on my Colt here is only 25 inches, including the barrel, because you've got to include the buffer tube. But let's find one doesn't have a buffer tube. Here's one that doesn't have a buffer tube. Where am I at? Which one am I measuring here? Let's measure this one. That one's not long enough, because that one would be an SBR. That's 22. That's when I did SBR. Fuck, I've got all mine I've got on the wall here that have stocks. I've SBR'd them. So I don't know. Let's just measure it like that. Like, okay, here's one of my AKs. If you take the stock off of it, it's 26 and a half inches long. That's right about, why would you want to create a body of a gun that's that big and then not put a stock on it? Why would you want to put a pistol brace on it? So I don't understand that part. That part confuses me. Let's make sure I haven't missed anything over here because we're about out of time. What do you think about the Army of the Dead? Oh, I did not like it. It was bad. It wasn't the worst zombie movie I've ever seen, but it was bad. And for the budget it had and the actors it had, it was just really a disappointment. Would John Holmes be banned by the ATF? He was usually a cheek weld or shouldered. I don't know about that. Some nefarious anti-2A groups keep knocking you off the internet. Either that or shitty internet service, one or the other. Is the bunt line unwieldy? Yeah, it is. Thoughts on shoulder holster for a King Cobra target? I don't know about the target model. I don't know if you'd find one for that, but I would like to try some new shoulder holsters. I've tried one before and I didn't like it. I never tried any more. I'd like to try some more. There's a bizarre law in Oklahoma that you can be fined for making ugly faces at a dog. What if you're just ugly? Are you not allowed to look at dogs? How many rounds have you actually put through your Smith& Wesson 500? Is it crazy to buy one and never shoot it? Nah, not if you want to have it. When I bought it, I probably bought, I think, like 500 or 600 rounds of ammo for it when I bought it. That was years ago. And I've still got probably about 300 rounds for it. So it tells you I ain't shot it a lot. And a lot of that's been with me, letting other people shoot it. So, because when you take it to the range, there's always someone wants to shoot it. Or when you have friends over, they want to shoot it. So, what are your thoughts on Blue Lives Matter's flag being a desecration to the American flag? They are a desecration of the American flag. That's my thoughts on it, period. What's a good way to ventilate my garage? It has a garage door with windows, but the windows don't open. Replace the windows, I guess, if you want to, with shutters or something. But why would you want to ventilate your garage? Most people are looking to keep the cold and stuff out of their garage. I guess you could just poke holes in the wall. Are we out of time yet? Oh, we're way out of time. We're way past out of time. And let me make sure no one ever sent me anything they wanted me to address over here. When they start talking page 33, and misunderstanding it. Nope, doesn't look like anybody did. Let me check all my email addresses though, just to be sure, because I don't want to get out of here without addressing something when I told people to send it to me. Nope, not in that one, and not in that one, and not in my all. No, it says it's waiting. It says it's updating. Hold on. Nothing. All right. So we can move on. Frank Ray, better get NFA tax stamp before putting pistol upper on a rifle lower. Well, yeah, because you're making an SBR. Here's the thing, though. If you want to do it and shoot it in your backyard, who's going to turn you in? And is the ATF really going to come looking for you, even if someone calls and says, I think they've got an illegal SBR? Unless you're wanted for something, unless they're like you're a suspect or a person of interest in, like a potential terrorist or something, well, they're not going to use that. They're going to be like, okay, good to know. Because I've been out of compliance with ATF stuff before and even let them know. Like someone mailed a gun directly to my straight to my door once that I bought from them on the internet. And that made me, legally, that's a felonious act, me accepting that package. But I called the ATF and said, hey, I just received a gun in the mail without it going through an FFL. What do I need to do? And they're like, oh, well, take it to your local FFL and have them do the paperwork. They didn't fucking care. They're not going to come get me over that. So a lot of people just worry about shit just to worry about it. I'd be happy to come on Slap the Yank at some point and debate this with you. You could have come in today if you'd have said so, but make sure you have your links. I didn't even see any links from you. Because I will tear you to pieces on this one. I'm making sure. How long to fully charge your Tesla from empty? I've never timed it, but it's like hours, several hours, I think. It's like 6 or 7 hours on just a regular 220 outlet that I had installed outside. But it's a weird, I think it's like a 4-wire system. So it's a weird outlet, but I didn't install it. The electrician installed it. The point is that they wrote it in a way that makes most AR pistols illegal. No more so than they were before. The most applications of a lot of the pistol braces and stuff out there were not legal 2 years ago. The only difference is people weren't asking if they were legal. Now, if it's legal. That's the difference. The criteria hasn't changed. It's just a bunch of people raised a fuss, So the ATF went, okay, if you want to know, here, now you know. And now you got no reason to not be compliant. That's basically what happened. So no big changes. Most of the applications people were using, like pistol braces that were designed to be telescopic, those aren't legal. They weren't legal when they never got an approval on them. Like if you watched that whole thing, that whole debacle about that one, the ATF actually made a statement about that manufacturer saying they have only provided us one sample to be approved or disapproved. They currently offer on their website several SBR or pistol braces. They have applied for approval for one of them and only one of them. In other words, they're saying 6 of them they're selling you, they're not telling you whether they're legal or not because they never bothered to check. But they didn't go after anybody because the brace itself's not illegal. It's only illegal once you put it. What is it? The picture cut out before I could see the part you're talking about. It's gray down at the bottom of the picture. Here's the picture she sent. Or here's the picture someone sent. I won't say who. And they're asking me a question about the brace and the buffer tube. And there's the picture how it cut off. So I don't think I can answer that. But like I was saying, thanks everybody for coming today. I do appreciate it. I will see you all again here tomorrow. Is the Tesla or Challenger more fun? Well, the Tesla is cooler. The Challenger was more powerful and more thrilling. But the Tesla can take off pretty damn fast too. Of course, so can my Mini Cooper. But the Tesla is cooler and very space agey and futuristic and cool in a lot of ways. And it's weird that you can just put yourself back in the seat and not even hear anything. You know, that's the weird part. But and I don't think I like it. I like to be I like to be I like to hear the engine. You know what I mean? I like to hear the pops and the crackles and the roars and or the growls. That's the size I have now. But thanks everybody for coming. I do appreciate it. I will see you all again tomorrow. Until then, I'll just say see y'all later. I should be on at 6 p.m. Pacific time tomorrow also since it's a Friday, but you never know. Sometimes I do 5, but it'll probably be 6. So until then, I'll just say see y'all later.